Taurus, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below. It'll talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. With that said, hmm. Ouch. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's the only word that I can think of. So the Queen of Swords in the inverse is somebody, and this is you, by the way, this is the protagonist in the lineup, is somebody who is kind of lost in their feels and lost in their own perception. And basically what the Queen of Swords in the inverse is it's somebody who's ready to pop off. You know, if you talk to her the wrong way, look at her the wrong way at this particular time, she's just gonna let you have it because she's very much in her feels, she's very much in her head, and she can only see her own perception right now. She's not looking to clarify, to get down to the facts of the matter. She's just there. And you're very strong in this energy right now. It seems to me like you are very, very defensive, okay? You don't know how to initiate a difficult conversation, but you feel a difficult conversation needs to be had. So what you're doing is you're just being incredibly defensive. And you're finding your strength in it. You're like, oh, if that person says this, I'm going to say this. If that person says that, I'm going to do that. If this happens again, I'm going to say something. It's kind of like that. And it's not a comfortable place for you to be in. Okay, Taurus? It's not. I'm just getting this energy of not so much anger, but frustration. You're frustrated with the situation and you're having trouble having the conversation with the person or people that you need to have that conversation with. And it has everything to do with your household. It has everything to do with your work. It has everything to do with resources. So when we talk about resources, we're talking about wealth, finance. We're talking about health, both physical and mental. Okay? We're also talking about time management. Now, there's a subset of time management, which is who you spend your time with, okay? And the resources here feels like a very close proximity to who you spend your time with, which is why I say this is about home or work. It's about people who consume a lot of your time. And you feel like the process, your time is not being respected by other people. So you're standing your ground on this is what I will do and this is what I won't do. You're putting your foot in the ground. You're not starting the fight. You know a fight is coming and you're preparing for it. You're not starting a fight. You're just putting up that boundary that you intend to maintain. Because you know that there's a lot changing. Okay? Something is coming to an end, but there's also a new beginning on the horizon. And you know that this change is going to be uncomfortable for you and the other person or persons involved. Because you're not happy with the way things are, so things have to change. You intend to be strong, put up your boundaries, say this is what I'll do, this is what I won't do, and you want to maintain that, which isn't what you used to do in the past. That's why this is a transitional thing. But it kills you to do this, Taurus, because it isn't in your nature. Which seems weird because Taurus are actually very, very stubborn people. When they decide they're going to do something, or more importantly, when they decide they're not going to do something, they usually stand their ground. So standing your ground is in your nature. But standing up against this person or this group is not. This is the one place where you felt you didn't have to fight. This is the one place where you felt that you were understood. And now all of a sudden, you're not. And it hurts. It feels like you didn't get the outcome you wanted. Or like you're never going to get the outcome you wanted. Like you waited too long for something and it just didn't happen. Yep, see? So you have the King of Pentacles in the upright and the King of Wands in the inverse. What this tells me is that you're holding on to a person or situation for very practical reasons, but not because you feel the drive or the passion to do so. So it could be like you aren't happy with your job and you're staying there because the money's so good. You could go find something else, but you might have to take a pay cut and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Or it could be that you have like a friend who demands too much of your time. Or maybe even a friend who doesn't give you the same amount of time you give them. Like you're always there for your friend, but they're not there for you. You know, something that once felt stable is changing, that has you defensive. And you know a transition is coming and you know it hurts. You know it's going to hurt. So yeah, the passion for staying in this situation is gone. All that's left is these very practical reasons to stay. Like I said, the best example I have is you're at a job that the money's really good, but it makes you miserable. Passion is gone, but the practicality is there. And you're wondering how long holding on to the practicality is a good idea. Like you're like, is it really a good idea to hold on to this practicality if I hold on to the finance but my mental health suffers, is it worth it? If I hold on to the stable home but I'm not happy with the people I live with, is it worth it? You know? Pardon me. I apologize. I've been talking quite a while tonight. So what you've decided to do was you stopped juggling your resources along with the other person's resources, and you're really just focused on you right now, which is why you're defensive. Because I apologize. You feel like you've been going with the flow for so long that it's hard for you to tell this person or this other group that you're not going to do something. You've been, I don't want to say submissive, but you've been cooperative. That's the word I'm looking for, because it doesn't feel submissive. It feels cooperative. You've been cooperative for so long, it's almost like you can't find your voice to say no. To say, I don't want it to be this way anymore. Oh. So rather than stick with the plan that you had or move forward, you're just kind of sitting there waiting and beckoning. It's almost like you're bidding for the other person's attention. Instead of walking in the room and saying, oh, I have a problem, you're just kind of sitting there like, and hoping they'll ask you, gee, is there a problem? But here's the advice that I have for you, Taurus. I'm proud of you for putting your foot down and saying what you will and won't put up with. But the way that you're going about initiating that conversation, with the way that you're going about initiating the conversation may never be had. You have to speak up and do it. You can't just expect this person to notice that you're irritated and read your mind. They might be able to read your energy and notice you're irritated and just leave you alone. Because take it from a tarot card reader. This is what I do all the time. I read people's energy. I cannot read their mind. So whoever you're dealing with, the person or the group, they can tell you're upset, but they don't know why. You have to initiate that conversation. You have to say something. You can't just sit on your throne, putting up your defenses, taking stock of your resources, and waiting for a change to come in order to have that heartbreaking conversation. If you want to stand your ground, you have to initiate the conversation sooner rather than later. Or, if you sit here for too long, you'll just get resentful. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next time.